So let it begin right here, right now. Earth Revolution. Hey everybody, welcome back to Earth Revolution. I am your host, Susan Shann. Thanks for being with us here at the home of the green scene in Nashville, Tennessee. I have two great guests with me. This is Albert Dunn. Hey Albert,
hi.
Welcome to the show.
Susan. Thank you.
And this is
Hi,
Mark
Susan.
Mayes. Hey Mark, how
Hi.
are you? Albert and Mark have a business here in the Nashville area, and it's called Better Food, Better Living. And it's really, really interesting to me because what they're focusing on is community-supported energy,
Right.
and as well as community-supported agriculture. Their focus is on helping communities to become energy independent to a
Right.
certain extent, and to develop these means through sort of a permaculture model where there's no waste, and they work with farmers, they work with local people to just kind of get this design in place and help them understand how they can become energy independent. And one of the things we're primarily talking about when we talk about that energy independence is the creation of ethanol.
Correct.
Through various plant sources. So this is very fascinating to me, and I wonder if Mark, I'll start with you, and if you would just tell me a little bit about what Better Food and Better Living does, how long you've been in existence, and what your vision is.
Well, betterfoodbetterliving.com was created almost 2 years ago, and our vision is to help farmers in our local communities to develop sustainable agriculture and energy sources that are clean and renewable.
Right. Okay. And Albert, how did you become involved in this? Where did this originate with you?
Well, with my agricultural background growing up,
Yeah.
about a year ago I started doing further research on community-supported agriculture
Yes.
and finding out about what was happening in the Nashville area, going to some surrounding auctions and finding out that you could actually, purchase food fairly reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And help people in that regards. And that led then to finding David Blume in his book Alcohol Can Be a Gas about 6-9 months ago.
Yeah.
Started researching that and doing a lot of work with that. Started talking with David and his organization, and realized that we can now bring into that CSA picture another aspect, which is community supported energy.
Yeah.
And begin to build a co-op around that same aspect, that same idea.
Right.
Energy co-op for
Yeah.
people.
Okay, I love that. And I would venture to say that here in Nashville, you're probably in a perfect location and a perfect time for this.
Right.
Because we know we already have an active, cooperating farms, lots of farms in the area, numerous farmers markets that are really, really great.
Yes.
And tremendous natural resources.
Yeah. And this is just taking that model that already exists to a new level.
Right.
Which we so very much need to do for
Yes.
environmental reasons as well as economic sustainability.
Absolutely.
So, okay, I wonder if you can tell me, and either of you can volunteer for this, a little bit about ethanol. What are some of the plant crops that can be used to produce it, and why would somebody want to do that?
Sure. Albert, you want to take it?
Sure. Well, for many years, corn has been the base.
Yeah.
Okay. There are these huge ethanol plants that dot the country across the United States, okay, that produce millions of gallons of ethanol a year.
Right.
Okay. And by and large, they use corn as the base.
Okay.
But corn is not necessarily the best crop to use, okay? What we would like to do is do it on a smaller scale, much smaller scale, okay, around a local rural community, okay, where you have your local farmers, okay, and you begin to build that community energy, okay? And so instead of sending your dollars off across the pond so that they can make their playground someplace else, okay, we can begin to circulate our own dollars within our own rural communities, help revitalize them, put people back to work, okay, and make our own playgrounds here at home.
Right. And again, something we really, really need to be doing is this
Yes.
localizing and keeping the money in our
Yes.
own communities, keeping our resources local.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's amazing. God, there's so much we could talk about with this. I wish we had more time, but we're running low on time, and I want to make sure we talk about this event that you guys have coming up in March. So if you will, please give us the details about that.
Okay, the International Institute for Ecological Agriculture.
Okay.
David Blume, he's going to be here in Nashville, March 19th, which is a Friday evening. We're going to have a social. You can kind of get to know David on one-on-one. And then the workshop will be all day Saturday and Sunday, the 20th and the 21st.
Okay.
And in talking about that, we have brought along for you
All right.
this DVD.
Alcohol can be gas.
Alcohol Can Be a Gas DVD. That's one of David's DVD, about 2 hours worth of him talking.
About
He better be
ethanol.
About
really
ethanol?
interesting.
That's right.
That's right.
About
Can be
our
a
favorite
gas.
subject, ethanol.
Well, actually, and I know he's really interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this workshop because I really want to meet him in person and find
Great.
out more.
You bet.
Okay, folks, we're so out of time. I am your host for the show Earth Revolution, Susan Shann. Thanks for being with us. Albert,
Sure.
pleasure.
Pleasure,
Mark?
Susan. Thank you.
BetterFoodBetterLiving.com. Check them out. Go to that go to the event in March, and we'll see you again next time. Peace, love, and recycling. Have a good night.